Ooh, yakety mac.
Hello guys and welcome to Yakety Mac. My name is Jeff and I sure do appreciate you watching. I've been looking forward to making this video for a while now. I want to talk today about kayak accessories, specifically Old Town kayak accessories. Even more specifically, accessories from Navarre kayak fishing. If you own an Old Town, chances are you are already familiar with Navarre kayak fishing. If you're not, you should be. If you're thinking about getting a kayak, maybe it's your first one, or maybe you're looking to upgrade, I'm not going to tell you that accessories should be number one on your list, but it should definitely be up there near the top because trust me, you are going to want to make this vessel your own. You're going to want to set it up in a way that works best for you. And one thing that's really cool about Navarre kayak fishing is that many, if not all of their accessories are designed specifically for these boats. They do some Hobie stuff, but Old Town is where they really shine. And look, I want to let you know, I am not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. I'm just a customer, but it's a small business. They are fantastic service. Nick and Erica and the whole team over there, they're just great. So I don't mind plugging them at all. And plus, I think their stuff is really cool. So I'm going to put a head cam on. We're going to go from the front to the back, and I'm going to show you all of the accessories. I'm just going to focus on the Navarre kayak accessories, but I'm going to show you all the accessories that I've got. And some of them are functional, like improvements over what came from the factory. Others of them are more about customization and getting this set up in the way that you want. So I'm going to put that on, guys. Stick around. Let me show you what I got.
All right, y'all. So we're going to start up front here on the PDL unit. And the first item, one of the first items that I bought when I got this kayak were these spacers here that go on your PDL unit. Now what these do is these help to keep the unit from moving side to side. They come with little places here for these set screws that come with all the hardware that you need. You simply slide these on, get this position where you need it, tighten these down, and they're very snug, they don't move, and this will keep your unit from going side to side. It'll also help you to be consistent with how you drop the unit in each time so that you don't get it offset to one side or the other, because as you can see here, there's a little bit of play in side to side, but these units, these spacers here, keep that unit from moving too much. And so one of the things I'm not going to do, guys, is I'm not going to talk about prices because they can change all the time, and I don't want to give any bad information out, but I will put the link to Navarre in the description of this video so that you can go there and check it out yourself. The next thing, staying on the PDL unit, is this little track device right here. It's got just enough room to put one T-track type mounted item in here, whatever that might be. I use it for a little action camera. This is what I keep the action camera pointed at the seat there, so that when I can talk directly into the camera. But this simply just goes around your PDL unit and then tightens down on here, and as you can see, it's very sturdy, and it comes with these two rod rests here as well. So if you've got the rod up underneath your seat and you want to lay it out this way instead of laying it off the side of the boat, you can lay your rods right in here as well. Now they have since come out with an upgraded version of that. Like a week after I bought this, they launched this one here, in which this will come out. This piece here on top of the PDL unit will come out, and the new unit with the little track mount will go down in there. It's got a screw that tightens it down. It's nice and sturdy. It's not going to move around. It's definitely an upgraded. As far as I know, you can get both types. I didn't feel the need after just having this a week to try to replace it. This is very sturdy for me. I only use it for this little action camera right here. Okay, guys, so we'll stay here and we'll lift the PDL unit up out of there. So now this kayak comes from Old Town without a spacer here. So if you've got your PDL unit up or you've got your PDL unit out, you've just got this big open hole here in your kayak. You could drop things down in there. Of course, then you got the water splashing around right there as well. So Navarre Kayak makes this insert right here. It is perfectly designed to fit right up in here. Latch it down with the same locking knob that you use for your PDL unit. So I keep it set like this when I'm backing down the boat ramp. And now, of course, if I'm going into a body of water, say that has a lot of grass, and I don't want to be cleaning grass out of my propeller, so I choose to paddle that particular day, then I can just leave the PDL unit out of this. I've got this floorboard insert here that keeps the water out and keeps me from dropping things down into the water, and I'll just use this as I paddle. And so now I would consider this, again, functionality. I would consider this functionality. I would consider this definitely a customization type piece. And then this nut here on the propeller, that's another functionality thing. So from the factory, this comes with a nut, and you get a little Allen wrench type thing or whatever. So if you're out on the water and you need to take the propeller off, maybe you break a shear pin or whatever it is, you've got tools to deal with. Those tools are metal. They do not float. The nuts do not float. This is from Navarre, is a floating nut. We'll take this off here. It's already threaded. Just comes right off. If you drop it down into the water, it's going to float. You can pull the propeller out if you need to. If you break a shear pin, you need to replace that, whatever it might be. Very easy. This goes back on, no tools needed. You just simply tighten this back down. There, like that. And off you go. So those are what was that, 1, 2, 3, just 4 accessories on the PDL unit alone. I'm going to go around to this other side over here, guys, and show you the next piece, which is going to be this replacement handle right here. So this handle is real simple. It's got screw holes in here. On the original handle, which looks just like this one here, you simply take the screws out, pull that handle off, put this handle on, and put the same screws right back in. And of course it comes with a small where you can mount one T-track type item right here. I got another little action camera mounted here that I keep pointed down towards this side of the boat. This is the side of the boat where I always land my fish, and so this gets for some good footage when I'm doing a landing or whatever. But you could mount your depth finder screen here, or whatever, whatever that you would want to, you could mount right there. As long it's sturdy, it's definitely a solid handle. So even if you wanted to mount something a little heavy right there, you could. This weighs virtually nothing, and so I don't really have any issues with stress or whatever. I'm definitely thinking about getting another one of these for that other side, just in case I want to mount something there as well. The newest item that I have from Navarre is this HDPE insert here that takes the place of the rod tube holder. There's a rod tube holder from Old Town, just like this one right over here. And you simply take the screws out. There's 3 screws, 1, 2, and then a third right here on this back side, and you pull the rod tube out. You put this in, use the same screws. It comes with some washers, so you drop some little washers in there. Use the same screws, tighten it back down. And as you can see here, it has a 4-inch long mount for like T-rail type stuff. And I've got my transducer arm here, and then I also have this paddle holder, but you could put anything you want there. I also use that for one of these Yak Attack mounts right here, and I mounted a camera pole here with one of the action cameras up on it so that it got a view up over my shoulder. Currently, I've decided to go with mounting my net on here, as well as my transducer arm for my Deeper Pro depth finder. Now that would be, again, a customization thing more than a functionality thing. Oh yeah, this is a small little thing here, but this is also from Navarre. And this just wraps around the seat and then kind of locks in place, and it has these little cutouts here where you can attach like a lanyard. And so that's what I keep my net attached to. So if I drop it into the water, even though that net floats, just having that extra little safety right there is a nice thing to have. And you could really just kind of hook anything that you wanted to on there, whether it be tether your phone to it, and it'll fit up back here, or it'll fit up here around this part of the seat as well. Something a little less sexy, but still very important, is going to be down here at the rudder. So from the factory, there's just a pin that comes in here. And it doesn't do a good job of, say, holding tension on this. In fact, Old Town kind of came up with this design on the knob up here, and we'll get up here to the steering knob, where it's got this knob that you turn to help bring some tension here or to loosen this up. Anyway, the folks over at Navarre, having dealt with these for years, knew that the best thing for this right here was a bolt with a nut here on the end so that you could tighten it down one time. You just set it one time and forget about it. And it makes the whole tensioning system that comes on the Old Town completely irrelevant and obsolete. And we'll get up here to the steering unit in just a moment. This is another HDPE piece that mounts where your power pole mount would normally go. I have no use for a power pole at all, so I got this, and you can mount anything you want on top of this. As you can see, I've got a couple of Yak Attack track mounts mounted up here, and I keep my flag mounted on here. I could put another rod holder on there if I wanted to, and this is accessible from the seat up here for me. And I've got just your average wingspan or whatever, but I can, with the seat all the way back, turn around and access this stuff right here if I needed to. Once again, right after I bought this, Navarre came out with an upgraded version that already has, just like on this piece here, that has this T-mount already cut into it. Well, they came out with a version here that has the T-mount cut into it right there as well. Didn't really matter to me. I had already gone out and bought these two Yak Attack mounts. So that was not all that big of a deal. But if you want to, you can get it. That's already got the cutout right there, so you can just simply slide your items in there, and you don't have to buy additional track mounts. So in addition to, and this would be a customization feature again, and it just uses the existing holes and everything that the power pole mount is already there. This kayak will come with 4 screws and some brass inserts right there. When you order this piece here, you simply take those screws out, put this piece down on top of that, line it up with the screw holes, put the screws back in, tighten them down, and there you go. And so I love that piece right there. So one cool thing about Navarre is that they don't just sell customization pieces as well. They also sell the Old Town factory replacement parts. And so down here in the tank well, I've got some of those. I've got some additional locking knobs here that I keep in case I ever break one up here on the PDL unit. I've got some additional shear pins, and here's what came from the factory. You can see here you've got this Allen wrench and then this washer and this nut that goes on the PDL unit. I've kept it just in case I ever needed it, which I can't imagine why I would. But I've got some additional shear pins. Those are factory parts that you can get from Navarre. I've got a couple of these extra floating knobs here for the propeller. And then I ordered these spacers here. I've not really found the need to use them yet, but they will simply go right here on this seat. This is kind of a weird setup that Old Town has got, in which you pull the seat off of this, and these things a lot of times flop off of there, and you could lose one of them. These are designed to kind of help hold those in place so that when you take the seat off, and it helps with spacing as well, so you don't get so much side to side movement in the seat like you see right there. But it's not really been an issue for me, and I just not gotten around to installing these. Same goes with a seat riser. Navarre sells seat risers, and I have purchased some of them, but again, have not found the need to install those yet. Maybe I will someday, maybe I won't, who knows. This is another thing that I bought from Navarre. These are factory propellers, and I keep them tethered up, and I actually keep them when I'm out on the water. I keep them up under here in case I ever break a propeller and need to access them. But again, these are Old Town factory parts that you can get from Navarre Kayak Fishing. All right, and the last item, and we talked about this when we were back at the rudder, is this steering knob right here. What comes from Old Town, and I've got it, I don't know if I have it in here or if I have it put away in the shed. I think I've got it put away in the shed. But anyway, the steering and then the tensioning knob and everything that comes from Old Town, it's kind of a cheap hollow gray plastic. Again, if you put the bolt into the rudder, you don't really have a need for the tensioner anymore. It's not going to do you any good. And so Navarre sells this this handle replacement right here, in which these screws will come out. You'll simply put this piece back down on, put the screws back in it from the original unit, and as you can see, it fits the hand really well. This design. Again, this is from the HDPE. And then this design right here, you can hold on to it really well and steer it. I'm sorry. And they make two different sizes as well. This size here, and I think they've got a little bit larger one if you wanted something a little beefier. This right here works really, really well for me. So guys, that's what I've got so far from Navarre. Now look, I've got my eyes on another handle for this side in case I want to mount something. And I'm thinking about doing this. They also make one of those same sort of handles as that over there, where you can attach a T-track mount. And I think they make it here for the front. And I think I'm going to replace this handle here on the front with one of those, and then put one of these cleats on there, and then get rid of this this cam strap that I use for pulling the boat around up to the bank or up onto the trailer, and get a better rope system that's just got a loop on it that I can loop it around this little cleat right here, and then take it off when I'm not using it. Not that this doesn't work, but it's not centered, and it doesn't stay centered. By using this right here in the middle of that handle, my rope will always be centered, and I'll be pulling the boat straight instead of at an angle like I have to do a lot of times. So guys, that's pretty much it. That's what I've got for right now, but my shopping list never stops. The customization never stops. Guys, I appreciate you watching this. I'm going to put the Navarre link in the description below. Again, I earn nothing from that. I just like to provide that link if you want to go and check them out. Browse around. They've got a lot of stuff, both factory and custom. There's a lot more items that they make, like power pole things that go on your, I think it's on your track mount system here. I've got no use for that. It either goes there or maybe on one of the rod holders. I can't remember. But I don't use a power pole or anything of that sort, or not even a power pole, but just an anchor stick. I don't use that. But they do make those type of items. They got a whole bunch of stuff on there. Go check them out, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. And remember, no matter what you've got going on, always take time to get outside and play.